Spring training is about a month away, and you know I had to bring back the player prediction series. Today, we're getting started with the top 10 breakout cases for 2025. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. And with that, let's get right into the video. To open things up, we have Dodgers outfielder Andy Pfaadt, who'll be looking to break out through a loaded outfield situation in Los Angeles and will likely start the year in a platoon role. This should serve him well after hitting 347 last year against lefties with a 917 OPS. However, I still think there is room for him throughout the season to reclaim his spot in center field and become a budding star in the Dodgers lineup. What Pages has always been good at through his baseball career is lifting the ball with power to the pull side, and you can see that with a lot of his home runs coming to that pull side. However, the home runs didn't come as frequently as we should expect as we continue to progress forward into his career, and with the home run rate getting sliced in half from his prospect days, the correct adjustment there would be hard to keep this guy out of the lineup after being on pace for close to 25 homers. In theory, as he continues to rack up playing experience, he should also improve that walk and strikeout rate, and it would greatly raise the floor to his game and help Pages build off a solid rookie season in LA. Last year, one of my players to break out was Hunter Brown from the Astros. I really liked where he was at with his K rate and ground ball rate, and he paid my prediction off with a big 2024. This year, I'll stick with the Astros pitching factory, this time looking at Spencer Arrighetti. Arrighetti is a much different style pitcher to Brown, focusing more on strikeouts and allowing his fastball to get on people quickly with his great extension. Where Arrighetti struggles is with walks and fly balls. Admittedly, Houston isn't the greatest place to be a fly ball pitcher, so for that, I would love to see him add a sinker to his mix to allow the fastball to play more in the zone with less repercussions. Playing in the zone would greatly reduce his walk rate and raise his floor as a pitcher significantly. Arrighetti already gets the swing and misses that he needs. Of the pitchers who pitched over 400 plate appearances last season, only 12 had a zone swing and miss rate above 18% and an out of zone swing and miss rate above 50%, and Arrighetti is one of those names. Joined by big time pitchers like recently traded Garrett Crochet, Cy Young winners Blake Snell and Tariq Skubal, as well as Tyler Glasnow. It'll take a slight adjustment, but Arrighetti can be the next big name pitcher in Houston. Another pitcher who struggles getting hits out of the air is Nick Pivetta. If you watched last year's version of this video, you know this argument all too well. However, with the impending free agents likely heading out of Boston, it'll do his game some good. Where he signs will play a large role in how dumb I look going after Pivetta 2 years in a row, but hey, you have to roll with the punches sometimes. Pivetta does a great job striking batters out, sitting at a staggering 28.9% as a starter. In 2024, he did an even better job limiting walks and hard contact, but it wasn't enough to keep his ERA from ballooning over 4. Part of what drew me to Pivetta last offseason was his inclusion of a sweeper over a slider in 2023 that had promising results, but it didn't find that same success across the full season of 2024. Despite that, Pivetta put up arguably the best season of his career from the numbers under the hood. xWOBA, career best. xERA, career best. Walk rate, career best. You get it. Sign this guy to the right situation with a good ballpark for his style of pitching, and it could produce excellent returns on investment. A batter who would benefit massively from getting the ball into the air is Jesus Sanchez from the Miami Marlins. Simply put, Sanchez was a StatCast darling last season, sitting in the 93rd percentile on average exit velocity, 95th in hard hit rate, 83rd in barrel rate, and even 80th in xWOBA, all while having a measly 7.7-degree launch angle. Some players like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are able to work around having a low launch angle by having a really good walk and strikeout rate, something Sanchez has been improving slowly, but not enough to make a noticeable difference. Where Sanchez has been improving is the consistency to find the barrel and make hard contact, which have both improved significantly since his slight breakout in 2021. If the trend continues, Sanchez should be able to find better progressive results, and if he can figure out how to get the ball off the ground consistently, he will be dangerous. Another player with a history of a low launch angle is ONeal Cruz. Yes, I had to slip a Pirates guy in there somewhere, but it's for good reason. Because Cruz showed incredible life throughout his first full season in the majors. After missing much of the 2023 season with injury, Cruz started the year pretty slow, but turned it on in May after some adjustments to his stance, which allowed him to hit 288 with 15 homers and an 861 OPS through the end of August. September wasn't as flashy, but he also was thrust into center field, so I'm just going to choose to ignore that portion of time as he was just having to learn an entirely new position. Compared to 2022, where Cruz was nearly unplayable versus lefty, he became a serviceable bat with the adjustments he made. While he still won't have reverse splits anytime soon, that change to his game was an incredible development. If he can continue to build off his offensive improvements and keep bumping that launch angle, it'll do wonders for his game and the Pirates lineup, which desperately needs some production. The lone reliever to make the list is Nick Mears of the Milwaukee Brewers. From a traditional standpoint, Mears was not good last season, posting a 5.93 ERA across 54 games. Part of that was due to a large increase in hits per nine, which was inflated because of his BABIP, something that might have had some time to even out if he were a starter, but the life of a reliever can be sporadic at times. Like, look at this. Sure, he probably should have let that ball go, but still, how is that the result for that hit type? Either way, Mears is likable because of his strikeout rate, along with his ability to avoid hard contact and get a fair amount of ground balls. The only knock from the under the hood standpoint is his high walk rate, but even that has greatly improved from where he was in 2023. With another full season to prove himself and a potentially bigger role with Devin Williams out of the picture, Mears could be the next great Brewers reliever. Another pitcher with an extremely high ceiling is DJ Herges of the Washington Nationals. Herges made 19 starts for the Nationals in 2024 as a part of their youth movement and looked solid in doing so, posting a 4.16 ERA. Herges is particularly exciting because of his stuff and delivery from the left side. His crossfire delivery and extension allow his mid 90s fastball to play much faster and give his changeup great deception. Off that, he has a slider and curveball that get used to a lesser extent. Part of Herges' issue throughout his career, and a large reason why scouts think he will be a bullpen piece long term, is his walk rate. However, the Nationals seem intent on giving him a shot at the rotation, and he should be in place to take advantage of that. Coming through the minors, Herges' changeup was by far his best pitch, but it didn't find the same level of success in the majors. The projected numbers think it should have been much better than it was, with the slugging percentage going from the hitter putting up Randy Arozarena type numbers to the expected slugging being at Alex Verdugo's level. Her's slider also played very poorly versus the expected numbers, and if the numbers correct themselves over the course of next season, he could be in for a breakout 2025. Another player who is bound to break out in a big way in 2025 is a bit of a layup in Wyatt Langford. Langford finished 7th in Rookie of the Year voting last season, and for good reason. He finished the year with 3.9 WAR, 16 homers, 74 RBIs, with a 740 OPS. Langford is a good base runner and even plays a good left field. So where is there room for him to improve? Langford's game really took the league by storm in September, where he posted a 996 OPS across the month with 8 homers and 20 RBIs. And while I don't think he'll be quite that prolific, I am confident in saying that his true self is closer to that last month's version of himself than the version that was present through August. For starters, his xWOBA finished the year at 331, similar to players like Logan O'Hoppe and Vinny Pasquantino. Not exactly the superstars of the game, but very solid players nonetheless. However, his xWOBA for September finished at 390. A full season of that, and he equals out to Corey Seager, who is ninth in the league in xWOBA. Normally, a jump like that would require an unsustainable BABIP, but his number of 324 is a bit high, but not completely unrealistic. Over the course of the season, 23 players had a higher BABIP, and with the way he was smoking the ball, it's completely reasonable to think those results are replicable over the course of the season. And the final pitcher of the video will be Brandon Pfaadt of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who has had a rough go of it so far in the majors. Across his 2 seasons, he's had a 5.06 ERA and has been allowing over 9 hits per 9 innings. However, what those numbers don't show you is he was much better in 2024 under the hood. The home runs were down, the walks were down, hits were down, the strikeouts were up, and it didn't make much of a dent in the actual result. Pfaadt has to have some luck swing in his favor this season, and it can make him a dangerous pitcher to face. He has a mixed bag of pitches that have performed well at different points in his career. In 2023, it was a sweeper that was by far his best pitch, and then in 2024, it was the four seam and changeup that were his best offerings. And if he can put the two together like he was whenever he was a prospect, then there is a lot to like with his plus control. The pendulum has to swing back in his favor in 2025, and it'll lead to a star level season from Pfaadt. And the final player of the list is Shaylangers. You could argue that Langeliers has already had his breakout season with 29 homers in 2024 and a near 3 WAR. Langeliers will always be an offensive first catcher, so they need him to put up great numbers to be a playable option consistently. The homers were great, but there is room for that OPS to grow. Over the last 3 seasons, the catcher has improved significantly in the hard hit percentage, strikeout rate, and walk rate, which has allowed his bat to play, while raising his floor as a player. He was always a barrel king and someone who found success pulling the ball in the air for homers. However, as his career has gone on, He's developed the other aspects to his offensive game and made himself into a solid hitter top to bottom. His xWOBA and WOBA differential would imply that he got a bit unlucky last season, and next year could be the year for him to shine, with the A's making some quiet moves to improve. And that's going to do it for my 10 players who will break out in the 2025 season. Let me know who you have breaking out next season. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.